Welcome to the Love Them Knives channel. Yeah, we're working it out with CH knives, and you know what? I bought this from DH Gate. China High End EDC is the seller, and it got here in about 2 weeks. This is carbon fiber. Is that crazy? I mean, CH knives. I don't know. I mean, just recently, he's done this carbon fiber thing. I don't remember him doing a carbon fiber before. So this is a departure from the standard fare that I've seen. All the other stuff has been titanium frame lock. This is a titanium frame lock, but carbon fiber on the presentation. Lanyard hole, nice big slot there. Interesting, kind of a bronzish, dirty blackwash bronzish color, which is kind of cool. Really kind of sedate, understated, maybe a bit sophisticated actually. And the pivot collar has got this contrasting blue ring around it. The pivot is on bearings, and it's got if you see the lock bar, you see a screw there securing a hardened steel insert, okay, with the detent ball, etc. So milled clip, looks to be. Single screw there, which, I always worry about them having some play, but this one's solid. It's right in there. It doesn't look like it's going anywhere. Okay, so that's good. How what's the lockup like? 15% maybe. So it's real early. Real early. This feels different. This one came out of the box and I was a little, I don't know, I was a little tentative with it because it wasn't like the standard ones that are bigger, heavier, all titanium, no carbon fiber. Then they snap a little bit more. And this one has more of a dull kind of thud sound when it opens. And I think that has to do with the carbon fiber, actually. But it is centered. There's no blade play. There's no lock rock. That's really, really early lockup. Real early lockup. Is that okay? I don't know. I mean, some people like real early lockup. Some don't. They want a heavier lockup than that. For most, you can sit there and, but you need to be positive with your flip on this knife at least. And look at the flipper tab. It's really kind of small. It's fairly smooth here. There's no jimping. I would have liked some jimping here. I don't care that it's not real wide. That's okay. I only need this side of it. But a little jimping on there would have been nice. It's fairly far forward, but you see that angle there, so you can get to it. And you know what? Right out of the box, it seemed to flip okay, and then I think maybe not as good after about 4 or 5 flips, and so I dropped some lube on the pivot. And trying to think. Yes, I took this one apart. That's right. I did. And I think I over-lubed it. I think I put too much lube on it and kind of slowed it down and kind of hurt the action a little bit. So I took it apart and to clean it up. It's like, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to drown you. And I wiped it down. But I didn't put alcohol on it because I didn't want to take away all the lightly oiled surface. I wanted to just leave it lightly oiled. So I wiped it down and then reassembled it. And when I noticed when I took this off, because this is how it comes off. This is the actual screw on the pivot. This is the pivot tube. So you take it from this side And these were both, I think, number 9 Torxes. It's either 8 or 9. So they're the same size. Usually these are like a number 6 when they're not the pivot. But in any case, so undid them, which was not a problem. They weren't Loctited or jacked up or anything. And then I realized that, if you see a blade stop here, stop pin? No, you don't. And I didn't really pay much attention to that until I popped off the scale, and then I saw why, because it's got an internal stop pin. So that's a little, here it's kind of a little plate where the stop pin is positioned and it fits over the pivot pin on the inside, or the pivot tube, and into the area right there. So it just kind of goes through and into the scale. Okay, so that had to come off, that little plate with the stop pin. But other than that, no, it's just then standard. It's captured bearings and just peeled the layers off. Wiped everything down, put it back. There's no washers. They're just the bearings and that kind of thing. And then this little stop pin deal. So it wasn't that bad. And you know what? Then I just worked with it. Then I just started flipping it, and it flips better and better all the time. So it's now I've got this to where I like the action really well. It's real snappy. I guess it probably wasn't that bad out of the box. I just freaking did my stupid over-doctoring, which sometimes I do on some of the knives, and really you're just as well to leave them the hell alone. But oh well. So I made up for my transgressions by taking it apart, wiping everything down, putting it back together the way it probably came to me, actually. And yeah, and just working with, it just gets better and better. I think, and I used to say this, your first flip is your worst flip with some of these knives. And I think, you can fail any blade. This has got some detent to it. It's really hard to gauge the detent. You can gravity flip this, and this is a pretty light knife. So that means the detent, it's not like a 7.5. It's not that strong. Maybe a 5. It's right in there. So not super hard detent, but the bearings, they'll do the job as long as you bury that flipper tab correctly. Got jimping on top of this knife all the way down and out onto the blade. Interesting blade design. Modified sheep's foot, modified reverse tanto, I don't know. Whatever you want to call it, but it's of that ilk, and satin, high hollow grind. Should be good for slicing. Not sure I've done anything with this blade except cut paper. And it's good at that. And now, of course, but yeah. Tear it up, right? Nice. Os 8. So these are, and I think his intentional move there was keep this in the $50 range. Even though you got carbon fiber, and that is carbon fiber. Check the carbon fiber, see if you can see. See, you can see the fiber all the way through. So this is not a laminate. This is solid carbon fiber. This is not like a G10 laminate type deal, as you can see. So that's cool. Light and crispy. This stuff is it's got that real kind of almost chalky, crispy kind of feel to solid carbon fibers. Different feel of its own. It's different than the laminate stuff. In any case, so you got a lanyard hole, that dirty bronze, bad boy look, kind of the elegant look here. Very light knife, and a little spooky on the flipper tab. It's just so small. But it works. I mean, it takes a little getting used to. It's not totally intuitive because it is so small. But, you know, this knife is not a big knife, and it's pretty light. And it's not very big. So check this out. 3 1/4 inch blade. So not 3 1/2. Not real big. And 7 3/8 overall. So under 7 1/2 inches. Okay, so it's not like an 8, 8 1/4, 8 1/2. 8 inches like the Manex, like the, you know, full-size grip, Griptilian from Benchmade. So, you know, 18 3/4 centimeters. And, you know, right at 80 millimeter blade length. So no, I mean, get your Manex out and take a look. See, it's a smaller knife. And probably doesn't weigh much more than the Manex, which might be interesting to check out. Here's your grip. So these things look like monsters compared to the 3004, right? So this thing is like 2.8 ounces. Let's see what this one is. I mean, this is titanium. The other one's just like a hardened FRN. Wow. Is that amazing? Well, it's smaller, but I mean, it is titanium. Check that out. Throw this one up on there, 2.8. Exactly. What'd I tell you? What'd I tell you? So, 80 grams? Yeah. Interesting. Same weight, and this is really light. So, this is not quite 3 1/2 inch blade. This is 3 1/4. So really, as far as the blade length goes, it's not a huge difference. But the handle is suffering, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. Wow. What a difference. But it does feel good. But yeah, you're running out of real estate back here. Yeah, barely getting in on the party. Barely getting in on there. That little sharpening choil, but not really a place to put your hand. Jimping up here, yes, you can go forward. Nice and sharp. I know, it's OS 8. There's going to be people, just bellyache about that. Not me. I'm good. If I like the design of a knife, I'll buy it in HCR13 MOV. If I like it enough, and then I want the price to be appropriate to that. Which, speaking of price, let's see what we got here. I got some paperwork. Is this China high-end EDC? Yeah, this is where I got mine too. So $57. CH3004, original design, and that is for sure. OS 8, TC4 titanium, carbon fiber. Yeah, cool. So, what are your options? Well, you can go all black. I got the satin blade, but you can go black on black if you want. So, that's kind of badass looking. And there's your overall length. In millimeters, blade thickness, which we haven't tested on this one. 3.5 millimeters, not bad. Single ceramic bearing, and I know because I pulled it apart. Yes, it is. It's captured, but it's in that kind of bronze. It's not like a Teflon ring with bearings embedded in it. It's like the bronze captured bearing deal, single row. In any case, so anodized. Yes, it is. So. There you go. That's the one I got. And I guess I didn't cut you any pictures anymore of the black on black, but light. 3 1/4. It's not tiny, but it's very light. Good action. Not my favorite flipper tab setup. I would have liked something with jimping on it. I guess the angle's okay. It's a little farther forward, but I think that's a function of the internal stop pin and all that. But, you know, it's something, actually, if you look away and you just handle it and you go, yeah, you can still, yeah, you can, it's pretty intuitive. It's not that bad. Maybe I'm bitching and moaning a little bit too much about that. Yeah. It just has a different feel to it from, like, the 3005. That's more clank, more real metal, solid, weird sounding. This one is different. It's more subdued. Check this out. Oh. See? Now listen to this one. Different. Really different. This one, I kind of prefer the way this sounds and functions. More snappy, more metallic sound. This one, it's snappy, I guess. It's just kind of this real subdued thud. And I know, maybe I'm just obsessing. In any case, I mean, the 3005, the 3004, and this one's a lot smaller. It's 2.5-inch blade, the 3.25, you know. But of course, this comes in different anode colors, including just regular silver. This one does not. This is that color anyhow. It's just whether you want a black blade or not. So you're going to get this dirty bronze goldish look, which is kind of cool. But this one gives you a few more options on the scales. Cool. Both small, lightweight carry knives that are really high quality as far as titanium, full carbon fiber, ausates, stainless, sharpenable. Cold Steel made their world on it. You know, I mean, it's to me, it's a good steel, and for what I need it for, definitely. I got so excited I just about knocked my camera over. That's how excited I am. In any case, it's interesting to see what he's doing going forward with the designs, doing a lot of different things. Pretty experimental. So I'll put the links to my other reviews in the description section so you can see all the different CH knives that I've reviewed, which hopefully is all the different CH knives that he's ever made. I'm trying to think. Pretty much got them all captured. In any case, what do you think? Everybody has an opinion, don't we? I'm almost not wanting to know. Because the viewers on my channel, very individual type people, very different in their tastes and their likes and dislikes. But I think it's fun to have those discussions, and I think it's good for the knife makers to see those discussions, you know, both on the YouTube type channels or blade forums. I mean, you know, they watch and learn because you want to make a knife that is marketable, that people want to buy. So I'm good with these. I like them. I like the accents around the pivot. I like the anodized titanium and the full-on carbon fiber, which I think they've done a really good job on. Fit and finish is good. Blades are centered. No blade play. No lock rock. Bearings. $50 or 57, whatever. So, China high-end EDC. I'll put the link down below. Check it out. Thank you for joining me. You know what we do around here? We love them knives, so stay sharp.